This episode will cover non-metallic structures. Name an aircraft structure that a honeycomb panel can be used for. They have a variety of uses on aircraft, such as floor panel, bulkheads, and control surfaces, as well as wing skin panels. What is bonded honeycomb construction? Is a laminar construction consisting of a combination of alternating dissimilar materials, assembled and fixed in relation to each other, so that the properties of each can be used to attain specific structural advantages for the whole assembly while reducing weight. What type of materials are used in honeycomb construction? Honeycomb construction may employ stainless steel, titanium, magnesium, plywood, resin-impregnated paper, e-glass, nylon, and various combinations. Where are sandwich construction assemblies used? They are used for such areas as bulkheads, control surfaces, fuselage panels, wing panels, radomes, empennage skins, or shear webs. What procedures should be used to prevent damage to the hull when drilling through plexiglass? The plexiglass should be backed with wood, and the feed slowed as the drill point breaks through the underside of the sheet. A drill bit that is to be used for this purpose should be modified to a 140-degree tip angle, the cutting edge to a 0 rake angle, and the back lip clearance angle increased to 12 to 15 degrees. What is crazing and how does it occur? Hairline cracks in the surface of plastic, a form of heat damage caused by uneven heating. One side expanded more than the other, causing excessive stress. Subjecting plastic to large stresses and exposure to harmful solvents will cause crazing. When inspecting plexiglass, what should you look for? Crazing and discoloration. What causes honeycomb structures to delaminate? Moisture. What are the acceptable repair methods for bonded honeycomb structure that has been damaged? 1. Potted repair method. Or 2. Laminated glass fabric cloth overlay, which is applied to honeycomb damage which exceeds the repair limitations of the potted compound method. What is used for hole filling in a bonded honeycomb repair? Potting compound. What special precautions should be observed when repairing a radome? The repair must retain its strength and electrical transparency. What is a warp line? A highlighted strand in the fabric used for ply orientation. What does pot life mean? The length of time a resin will remain workable after the catalyst has been added. What is a barcoal hardness tester? A device that pushes a spike into the material such as a composite. The depth of penetration can be measured to determine if resins in the composite have cured. What is done to honeycomb before repairing? Remove damaged honeycomb and either replace with potting compound or use a honeycomb replacement plug. What is the difference between thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics? Thermoplastics can be remelted and reformed. Thermosetting cannot. What species of wood do you use for repair? Spruce. What does a metal bushing do in a wood structure? It protects the wood. What type of wood should be used for structural repairs in an aircraft? Soft wood. What kind of wood is used in aircraft besides solid wood? Plywood or laminate. How do you repair pinholes in doped fabric? You push on the dope with the retarder onto the pinholes. The silver layer on dope and fabric protects from what? Antimicrobial rot. What knot is used in fabric between the first and last knot? Modified seam knot. What happens to composites when you spill Skydrow on them? Damage and delamination. Are pin knot clusters allowable in aircraft structural wood? Yes, if they cause only a small effect on grain direction. What is the preferred seam used when machine sewing pieces of aircraft fabric together? The French fell seam. What are two types of fabrics used to cover aircraft? Polyester and cotton. What type of hand sewing stitch is used when sewing in a panel of new fabric on an aircraft fabric covered wing? A baseball stitch, locked every 8 to 10 stitches. What are two methods of attaching the fabric to the aircraft structure? By sewing and with cement. Why is the scarf joint angle and condition of wood spar repair important? Strength of the repair. What is the term for a piece of wood that has deteriorated to the point where, when you crush it, it will turn into a dry powder? Dry rot. Pre-preg fabric in a freezer with a defrost cycle will do what? Shorten the life of the fabric. What are the benefits of envelopes on aircraft wings? Time efficient. What protective equipment do you wear when you work with carbon fiber or graphite? Gloves and eye protection. What happens to the fabric when the wood under it breaks? The fabric cracks. What two forms of stress are fabric sheets most susceptible to? Tension and compression.